Hello once again and welcome back to another episode of Father and Sundays, the unexplainable guide to absolutely nothing. This is our 8th episode and we have got a spellbound one for you. We are actually talking about magic this episode, aren't we, Dad?
We are indeed, and I can't believe it's our 8th episode.
I know, crazy stuff. Anyway, stick around if you want to hear more. Right, so this week we're talking about magic, and this one was actually a suggestion, wasn't it?
It certainly was. It was a suggestion by Sue.
Sue
Suggested this one. So yeah, so not a big fan myself, but you know, I am a big fan of Sue.
Oh.
No, I love Sue, but like it's not of this particular subject. But we can go into that as we go along, I suppose.
I mean, I've got a lot of love for magic. I do enjoy magic. It's more that it kind of blows my mind, the illusion side of things and stuff like that. But I mean, I guess I've had a couple of bad experiences. I think one of the reasons why Sue wanted us to talk about magic was a bad experience I once had, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's probably where I get the hate of magic from. Yes, I can remember you putting on, when you were kids, you used to do little shows, and I remember you putting on a little magic show for your nan, NJ, and towards the end of that magic show, she just walked to the sideboard, got out a starter pistol, waved it at you and said, "I've had enough of your magic."
Yeah.
We all laugh about it. You looked a bit shocked at the time. I mean, it was, we don't just have like weaponry around the house. It was something my dad used to use because he used to train hurdles. But like,
I never used those pants again.
No,
they got burned.
No. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you've always liked it, but it's never been. Don't get me wrong. I like magic as much as sort of stories and films and things like that. I love that sort of stuff, but it's actual performance magic that I have an issue with.
Yeah, I think you struggle when it comes to someone putting on a performance side of things. So you've never really enjoyed the such of like Britain's Got Talent, because often when it comes to performances, it can be embarrassing, or there might be audience participation, which is a big thing for you as well, isn't it?
Oh, I can't stand that. I'd rather sort of stick my head down the toilet and sit on edge for a performance, just in case someone calls me up on stage or points me out or something like that. I do have a bit of a cringe factor with all that sort of stuff because I get embarrassed for people, which really I shouldn't do. If they've got up there to do it, that's their bag. But you know, I do get that. You know, that some of the big illusionists, they are quite spectacular. I mean, for instance, someone like Dynamo. I mean, I've only seen a few things, but he comes across quite well. But I guess when I was younger, there was people like Paul Daniels, and you know, even before that, I'm probably not really PC now, but Ali Bongo, who used to be a magician in the magic circle sort of thing. So you know, those sort of things, and I suppose they were a bit show busy. You know, and I find those a bit cringeworthy. I find those undoubtedly very, very clever, but you know, I do find it all a little bit too much.
See, I quite enjoy it because I mean, it's none of it's. I'm going to go out here and hope I'm not spoiling it for anyone, but none of it's real.
Shut up.
I know, it's crazy. But when it comes to it, I like the fact that someone can do something on stage for people then or in the street or something like that, for someone just to completely trick someone to believe in what they've done. Do you know what I mean? Where for example, isn't a disappearing elephant quite a big trick as well? And the fact that someone could put something on stage like an elephant and make it disappear and people believe it. It's just a way of tricking the brain of someone. Maybe the disappeared elephant was that much of a good one because wasn't it just mirrors?
Think back to David Copperfield, the American illusionist, and I think the two really famous ones is he walked through the Great Wall of China, and he made the statue of oh God, I can't even
Liberty.
speak tonight.
Liberty.
Yeah, he made the Statue of Liberty disappear. Now, I mean, are you telling me that's not real?
I know how they
What's the
did the
point?
Statue of Liberty one.
Did he not? I thought he did.
No, he did. He did it, but I know how they did it.
Oh right, I don't know.
Do
Should
you,
you tell me?
do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, go on, tell me how they did it then.
So I believe what they did for that one is they had Statue of Liberty. I've never actually seen it, but I'm pretty sure this is how I've been told it happened. Is they had a stage. I mean, I guessing that much because I've seen like pictures and stuff like that. They had a stage, and there was a Statue of Liberty in the background. Yeah,
Hmm.
am I right so far?
Well, I don't know, but go on.
Yeah, curtains shut, and the
Yeah.
curtains open, and the Statue of Liberty is gone. Now, basically, what they've done is because Statue of Liberty is kind of on a seascape kind of thing. They've just moved the barge, which is the stage, slightly, so you've got a different
All right.
view, and that's how they made the Statue of Liberty disappear.
Wow, that sounds terrible. Now you've explained it like that.
Yeah, sorry to
I
ruin
mean,
it.
it does sound quite spectacular when you think about it. You know, something of that size and that. But
They've
you
just
know,
moved
I
the
mean,
stage.
obviously, you know that it's not actually. I mean, no one pretends that it's real magic as such. They're actually talking. It's
Penn and
sleight of
Teller are big
hand.
ones
If
for that.
it's yeah. So I mean, that's another one as well. They're a little bit. I don't know if this is the right terminology, but a bit punk in the way they do things. They were a little bit more. Um, I don't know. Less.
Weren't they kicked out of the
Le-
Magic Circle, them two?
I don't know. They're quite. I mean, strict in the
Isn't
magic
Prince
circle
Charles in the
about
Magic
things, isn't
Circle?
they? Eh?
Isn't Prince Charles in the Magic Circle?
Royal family.
Oh, right, okay.
You're getting
Sorry.
them mixed up again, aren't you?
Yeah, I just thought they're a bunch of magics.
Don't, don't. No, but that's. I mean, so they're bit. I mean, you think about. I mean, one of the most famous is Houdini, um, and you know, it's incredible. They push themselves to the limits
Who is
physically.
Dini?
Houdini.
Who is Dini?
Don't. It's not even a subject I like, so don't start testing me on it as well. So I mean,
Testing,
that quite
testing.
often. I mean, some of the so testing. Some of the ones, the more recent ones, obviously have been okay. But in the past, when you've had people like Houdini, a lot of these people have died doing the tricks. So there'd be ones that are supposed to catch a bullet in their mouth, and the person who's fired them has used the wrong gun and not fired blanks and shot them in the head. And then, I mean, Houdini, I mean, I think it's a bit of an argument to whether he actually died because it was peritonitis, I think he died of, sort of like appendicitis sort of thing. But it was this thing about people punching him in the stomach. I think he was in his dressing room, and it may be a myth, but it was the story goes that they were punching him, but where he was sitting, he wasn't quite right, hadn't prepared himself right, and they punched him, which aggravated the appendicitis, and he ended up dying of that. But there's loads of them that have died from quite grim things, drowned. Another one, I can't remember the name of that one, but I think he did a similar sort of thing as Houdini did, where he was in a tank, but he was in a milk. I nearly said a milk carton. That would have been even worse. Yeah,
That was the
a milk
borrowers.
jug, a big milk urn sort of thing. But because it had a dent in it, and he hadn't noticed it had a dent in it, it had restricted some of his movement within it, so he couldn't actually get out of the constraints that he had on. So he died in that. So I mean, it's really grim.
Yeah.
I mean, nowadays, I think there wouldn't be that sort of risk, would there? Surely.
They are. It's very much they're stunt artists as well. Like they're stunt performers. Is a lot of it. I mean, I think it's just amazing. A lot of it, how it just kind of blows your mind. And I don't think they would do something. Well, no, they probably would do something quite as dangerous now, because if they just do the same things they did previously, no one goes, "Oh, well, I've just done that before." But there's a lot of backup plans nowadays, and they'd probably have a lot of that lined up. So I don't
Still
know.
quite spectacular as well. I mean, and as it Darren Brown does a lot of sort of mind illusions and sort of looks into that side of things these days, doesn't he? His shows are all based around that sort of thing. I think he does a lot of stuff around sort of exposing people like mediums and faith healers as being frauds and that. He's come from a different sort of angle on it as well. But they're all
Yeah.
good. I'll tell you one thing I found out, right, which I think is really, really cool, is when people from the magic circle or magicians die, before their funeral, just before their funeral, they do a broken wand ceremony, and they take their wand or a bit of a symbol of, they may not have had a particular wand, but they take a wand and they break it, they snap it, and that's just before they bury, cremate, whoever.
Oh, Harry Potter did that
What?
with his wand. He broke his wand, didn't he?
Oh, because he didn't want to use it anymore. See, I love
Yeah.
Harry Potter. That's fine. We can talk about Harry Potter.
Do you
I
like
could talk
Now
about
That's What I
Harry.
Call Magic?
No.
For
Terrible,
anyone
terrible
that doesn't
films.
know, that's actually the film. No, You See Me. But I love those films. They're so good.
Yeah,
I'm looking
but
forward
there's
to the
still. I
third one.
mean, there's a big audience for it, and I
Well,
suppose,
yeah. Otherwise, it's a very boring show, isn't it? If there's not an
yeah.
audience.
But I think anything. I don't know. That just strikes fear. That's probably my problem more than anybody else's. But it strikes fear in me. The side of it of bringing someone up onto stage and I don't. I tell you what, I really don't like. I don't like the horror stuff. I've never liked that
Yeah,
sort of
I
thing
get that
anyway.
one.
So I have I struggle with that sort of stuff anyway. But
No, I understand horror stuff. I'm not that much. Yes, I'm not that much of a fan of the horror ones. I
I
do
think,
prefer just the good illusions, the fun ones.
yeah, something that's sort of harmless, something that doesn't seem particularly.
I remember actually
Um,
an episode of QI that they did. They did a magic episode of QI, and they had Daniel Radcliffe, I think, and they were going through like people performing these magic tricks, and they went, "This one on Daniel Radcliffe," and it was like a. You sorting through papers over there?
yeah, sorry, yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
They had a guillotine that he had his head in, and then all of a sudden it just dropped, and then he had his head cut off, and it was like, oh, that wasn't meant to happen. And I was like, what the hell?
I think.
And then I remember, and they showed his head in the basket, and him going, oh, at the end of the show, and then they just ended the show there. But it was like that kind of freaked me out for a while. I was really young at the time because, as you can imagine, that was probably M, and I don't know what letter they're on now, but it's a
Oh
lot,
right,
it's a
yeah.
lot
So
after.
yeah, you probably were quite young anyway to
Although
experience something like that. But
M's
that's the
still
side I
quite late
don't
in the
like,
alphabet.
definitely.
I don't
But
know.
what about magic? So you've got three
Ah,
different
magic,
things.
magic.
Magic, right? So you've got the illusionists and the magicians and such, right? And they okay, and they don't pretend. I suppose they do at times, but don't pretend it's real. Then you've got all the films and stuff that I love to bits. I've already said Harry Potter. I could watch it over and over again. Stuff like Lord of the Rings, things like that. So you've got that element of magic. What about
Any more?
people
You're
that
going to name all of them,
practice
please?
so Merlin? So Arthurian legends and
What, the TV series Merlin?
the TV series Merlin. I think
The
anyway.
first series was good, but
Yeah, we're not critiquing
sorry,
Merlin, are we?
sorry.
So anyway, but what about actual magic? Like the ability to perform magic, not an illusion, but actually to like spells, charms, things like that.
What? Sorry, are you saying it as in what do I think of the actual real life magic?
Yeah,
I think there isn't.
you think there isn't,
Yeah,
right?
I think we've
Okay.
made it pretty clear on previous podcasts that I don't believe in that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah. There's plenty of people that do though. There's
Yeah,
plenty
yeah,
of
across
people.
the road.
There's always a basis. You do tend to then go back and say, well, I can see where it established itself. I mean, there's an element of it that I guess is science, where science crosses over. So at the beginning of experiments and such like, and and doing certain things, it might have seemed like magic at that point. We know a little bit more about chemicals and stuff like that. You're making me talk about this, and really, this is probably your side of
Oh yeah,
things. But
because I mean, when it comes down to things, what you're talking about is through history, someone who would have been classified as a witch, in fact, might have mixed a few things together to make a potion, which is actually just a bit of medicine, something like that.
so we're coming back to the thing is, if you don't understand it, then it might be, that it doesn't exist.
So I wasn't saying like it's not that if I don't understand it, it doesn't exist. It's more, uh, is that what you're saying? Are you saying that if I don't understand it, it doesn't exist, or are you saying that they don't understand it, then they believe it's magic?
No, what I'm saying is, if someone, if they look at something and they can't work out why it does it, why that's happening, they try to label it with something else. They say, well, you must be a witch or a wizard, because that's not possible, because just because they don't understand it,
Right.
they're
Yeah.
saying,
Sorry, I
so
thought you were saying
that.
that if I don't understand it, it means it doesn't exist.
Well, that's the sort of attitude you've carried through all of these podcasts. So
No, I've fully understood why someone says something. I'm just saying they're wrong.
Right. Okay.
Or
Well,
I would like if they proved me wrong, but they're probably
well,
wrong.
strangely, some years ago, I purchased a book, right?
Ah,
And that, yeah, quite. That's what the rustling you could hear
can
was.
I ask, when did you purchase this book?
I was trying to think how long ago. I mean,
Did you get it in that witch place in that town centre that we went to with the coffee shop? No, with the cream tea shop.
what?
No,
Is that one of your dreams?
I
You're talking about
think
a
when
witch shop with a.
where Shakespeare's house is, Stratford.
No, this would have
But you
been
know the shop
sort
I'm
of
talking about,
local.
don't you?
Yes, I do now. Yeah, I do know what you're talking about now. There's all them sort of shops that deal with this sort of thing. I don't know
Chip
where
shops.
I've chip shops. Um, but this was well over. It might have been about 30 years ago now, which is really making me feel old. But I bought this book, Charms, Spells, and Formulas, right?
It's older
And this
than
is
me, this
a
book.
proper. Huh?
It's older than me.
It is older than you, right? And I can't. I mean, I have no recollection. It was a long while ago. I have no recollection of buying it particularly, but I don't know why I bought it either. Whether it was just a little bit of interest into that subject matter. I think I bought a book around looking at tarot cards at the time as well. So that might have been. I was just trying to. Whether I don't know. Maybe I was trying to get rid of some unsightly blemish, or yeah, by
Maybe.
doing something, or maybe even grow my hair back. You know. So maybe I bought it just because it might give me something that would do those things. I mean, if I did perform any of it, I obviously performed it wrong, because I've grown hair back, but not necessarily where I wanted it. So,
Oh, let's get a bit
perhaps I got
personal.
the perhaps I got the candles around the wrong way. But this book, I mean, I
Just to
I
clarify, he's got very lovely and smooth legs.
yeah, I've got all my leg hair's fallen out. Yeah, I'd make a great cyclist.
Psychopath.
So it literally goes through. And basically, each particular one, it talks about laying candles out, and each candle represents a certain thing, right? And then you have to collect some ingredients, and you do a ritual, and it performing this ritual will do a certain thing. Now, the more I read through this book, the more disturbing it got. But for instance, to obtain money, right? So there's a charm or a spell, whatever you like to call it, to obtain money, and it gives you a layout of where you'd put the candles and what candles, like a white, a yellow, a green one, but it also gives you ingredients, and it says a red flannel is the first thing you need. Oh, sorry, no, a red flannel bag. Sorry, a red
All right.
flannel. I'm thinking there's a lot of flannels. Whoever wrote this book had got a sideline in red flannels, I reckon, because
Yeah,
every
yeah.
single one, you know. Anyway, a piece of counterfeit coin or real money.
I'm still stuck on why it needs to be a red flannel bag. But anyway, a piece of
Oh, I
counter
don't mess. You don't mess with the colours. A small pair of lodestones.
lodestones. What are they?
Yeah, lodestones. One
Okay, you're
buckeye.
not going to answer that, no.
I don't know. 1 tablespoon of five-finger grass.
Oh, okay.
1 tablespoon of money drawing powder.
Right.
I think in the index here it tells you how to make that powder. And 1 tablespoon of silver weed. Right. You'll also need a white candle, a yellow candle, a green candle, a shower of gold incense, and 1 bottle of money draw in oil. Right, and this is all to perform this, so that you'd actually. I don't know if it would mean you'd win the lottery or you'd have a windfall of some
Well, does it
sort.
not tell you what this does?
Well, you have to do a chant. I'm not going to go into that.
Just in case it
But
happens.
yeah, well, yeah, but there's all sorts of things that you can do. But I mean, they could have made it a lot simpler. I mean, if you just had a sort of pair of tights to put over your head and a gun and a getaway car, that'd have been a lot easier than some of the things you had to collect up here. There's also, right, let's see. So you've got things like win the love of another. I mean, that's pretty dodgy, really, because that's talking about someone who don't particularly like you, sort of performing a spell so they do like you. I mean, that's very wrong. There's another one: protection
To
from
be fair,
accidents, danger.
that's also the money one, isn't it? It's a lot
Yeah,
sometimes.
quite. Yeah, that could work in tandem with that. There's a protection from accidents and danger. That sort of. I looked at that and I thought,
They
well,
said put a crash helmet on.
this is it. Yeah, or wrap yourself in bubble wrap.
Yeah, that'll work too.
Just to stop you do that, but wear a pair of foam trousers. Again, a red flannel bag. There's
It's
got to be a
very
sideline for this.
specific.
An item belonging to the person who will wear the charm. Dog rose, which is a herb. Heather, comfrey, five-finger grass. That five-finger grass is popular. Mullein, sandalwood, and 1 small pair of lodestones. I've got to find out what lodestones are.
That dog
Then
rose
you've got-
sounds like something that Bilbo would make in the garden.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. I probably would. But I mean, it's just bizarre, and there's sort of, as I say, obtaining money, the increased love in your life, and there's all sorts of particular ones for it. I mean, I wish he'd put one at the beginning about, because I had to write all this out. This is why I'm looking in the actual book. If he'd have put a little spell at the beginning saying to actually use for handwriting, that would have been really handy. I might actually put that to the author, Ray Mulborough. I'll give him a shout out. But this is actual, this people would perform these things, and I wonder what the success rate is on them. I mean, it is, and there's also a chapter which, from what I can gather, because it's got dolls and such in it, is almost voodoo. So you make an image of whoever, and and this is all in this book.
I do.
You do, I do, voodoo.
We all do.
We all do, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So I mean, these are actual. People will go. I mean, there's white witches anyway, isn't there? So
Hasn't
they
there?
will
Yeah.
perform. Hasn't there? Did I say hasn't there? Or
I
is
feel
it
like
there?
I feel like you said there's white witches, hasn't there?
Hasn't there? Isn't there? Right, but I told you I couldn't speak properly tonight. But I thought, and I might have a go at one of these. Well, if I'm not back for the 9th episode of this, it's because I've had a huge windfall.
Sorry, windfall.
Windfall. No, I'd had a lot of money come to me through one of these things, and you're, writhing in agony because I've stuck a few things in your doll.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yes, sorry about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, so that side of it, I mean, it is an interesting read. It is sort of really detailed, but a little disturbing at the same time.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. It's like I said. It's just something I think that people historically, someone creates something to heal someone. Like historically, a doctor would be possibly considered the witch, and they can do stuff in magic, and it's just kind of grown from there. I feel, but I find magic as in the illusion side of things really interesting. I've got no belief in the actual uh, say real life side in quotations, but
You got
a lot
no
of interest
mystery in
in
your
the
life.
a lot of interest in the film and television side of things, because they are entertaining, a lot of them.
Oh, incredible, incredible. But then you see, you know, you've got a whole industry, and probably, I mean, if you think about the generations that have, I don't know, I've mentioned Harry Potter a few times, but the generations that have sort of watched those films, grown up with those films, and it's almost a religion in itself, you know, and it's and they're always sort of they're always stories of good and evil. If you look at anything with that sort of stuff in it, I mean, Lord of the Rings is very much the dark and the light, you know. And if you think about other stuff, you've lightsabers. They are wands as such, aren't they? I mean, it's all
Oh yeah,
in
if
Lord
you
of the Rings. They've got
look at
staffs, the wizards in that, but they're all it's all light and dark. It's all good and evil. It's all about that sort of thing,
you look at
and
the
the
story of
greyness in between.
you look at the story of Harry Potter and Star Wars, and they've got very much parallels in them as well, haven't they?
Well, if you look at Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, I mean, you can pretty much match up a lot of the stuff that's in those,
That's exactly
and
what I'm saying
that's
with
not.
Star Wars and Harry Potter.
But it's not taking anything away from Harry Potter. It's a different thing. But I don't know why I said Harry Potter. Then.
Harry Potter, Harry
Yeah.
Potter, don't take
But yeah,
away.
there you
You're
go.
a wizard, Harry.
I don't know who that was supposed to be either.
It's a bit of Hagrid, isn't it? Well, you're a wizard,
Was it
Harry.
Hagrid? Didn't Robbie Coltrane?
You're a wizard, Harry.
You now know who that is.
Yeah, I do. After his huge feat. Yeah, so I think to conclude, magic is a subject where we like some of it, all of it. Yeah. What do you think?
What?
I don't know.
You
Oh,
overtired.
I don't know. Anyway, shall we move on?
We can move on if you like.
But first, I think
Are you
there's...
all right though? Can I just check you're all right?
Yeah, I think so.
Are you a little bit tired? You still got
Yeah.
to cut my hair yet?
Yeah, well, I've got. I think I've read there's a spell in your book somewhere that'll help me with that.
Oh, I hope so, because I'm looking like Wolverine's mad aunt at the moment.
Come on, Harry, announce a word from our sponsors.
Sponsor Mora!
No, it's sponsor Mora.
Tired of losing your statue? Struggling to find your likeness in the darkness? Then you need the all-new glow-in-the-dark Pope on a rope. Attach it to your belt. Wear it round your neck. Never be without it again. The new glow-in-the-dark Pope on a rope. Not to be confused with Jesus for Jesus or Buddha Coulda Woulda.
Game time.
Okay, so on the magic theme, right, I thought I'd do so. I've actually got a sting for this as well. I know I'm getting a bit predictable with my stings. So,
So we've just had the game time, and now we've got
yeah,
another thing.
yep, absolutely.
So should we hit it?
Hit it.
Incantation, no misinformation. I wonder what it will be. Ooh, magic.
Wow, what a great sting! I'm gonna pretend I just listened to it and not put it in a post.
Look, just You're doing it again, aren't you? Right, look, let's just get through this one today. I just feel that this has been fairly painful all the way through. So what I've got is I've got some spells from Harry Potter,
I put a spell on you.
and I want you to tell me what these spells do.
I'm definitely gonna not get 100%.
You sure?
Yep.
Right. Okay, let's try. Okay, impedimento. Impedimenta.
Impedimento.
If someone's coming, impedimenta. If someone's coming at you, what are you going to do to them?
I feel like impedimenta, the peda, is something to do with pedals, and what it's gonna do, it's gonna make them go on a tricycle, cycle off, and implode.
Oh, that'd be even better, wouldn't it? No,
Yep.
it's impediment, so it's basically freezing someone advancing on you. There's
What?
nothing to do with bikes or anything like that.
No. Alright.
What about erecto?
Oh, I'm not sure this one's safe to talk about, is it?
Oh, so childish.
Does it make their is it when someone's got a floppy
Steady.
wand and it makes
A floppy wand?
yeah, a floppy wand. It's like
Well,
someone
it does.
inflates it.
It does erect things, yes. It does. Right, moving on swiftly. Alohomora.
That's when someone is meeting up with this
Now,
Mexican.
you know what this is, though. Don't start talking about something
It's
different.
a Mexican explorer, but they've got a speech impediment. Hello, amore explorer. Sorry, I recognise it. I don't know it.
It's opening locks.
All right.
Yeah, there'd be people that are into Harry Potter shouting at me because I'm not saying these right. What about
There'll be
Turdify?
people who like Harry Potter be shouting at me because I'm just not getting them.
Yeah, probably.
Turdify.
Turdify.
Is that turning something into a turd?
It is, and I made that one up. That isn't out of a Harry Potter.
Oh, I was actually proud
What
of myself then,
about-
for a moment.
What?
I was proud of myself.
Well done.
Thanks.
What about Tarantallegra?
Tarantallegra. Now, allegro is like loud. No, it isn't. No, allegro is like. Oh, what's allegro again?
I'm not going to tell you because
Will it give it away?
no, I don't know.
You don't know, do you? You don't know what allegro
I should
means.
know, but I
Yeah.
don't know.
No, I do. Is it like is it meant to be like jaunty kind of music and stuff like that? I don't know. Whatever. Bounce. Anyway, so what was the question again?
Well, it's the same question as all of them. What does it mean?
Yeah, I forgot what the.
Tarantallegra.
So something like Tyrannus is like bad and stuff like that. Does it make?
This is too painful. It makes
Thanks.
people dance.
Oh right, okay.
It forces them to dance.
I mean, yeah, obvious now, really, isn't it?
Yeah, okay. What about Avada Kedavra?
Turn someone into an avocado.
No. You know this. You've watched
I
these
recognise
films.
it, but I do not know it. I can tell you
Avada-
one spell.
What?
I can tell you one spell from Harry Potter.
Right, that was the killing curse. You should know that. It's through the whole thing. One of the unforgivable curses. Right, go on. What's the one you know then?
Oh no, I can do two. Wingardium Leviosa, and then
Right,
also
which is what?
to levitate something,
Yeah, go on then.
and Expecto Patronum. I heard me shouting them through your mic from through the wall.
Yeah,
Then might have to
Expecto
cut that bit.
Patronus.
Patronus, and that's when you get like your Patronus appear and they like do some
Yeah.
cool stuff, don't they?
Oh, right. Okay, well, you ain't going to get in. It's Sonorous.
That's when you run really fast, like Sonic.
Amplifies it. What about
Oh, that makes sense actually.
Densalgio?
Helps you make a den.
No, teeth growing. Richter Sempra.
When something really shakes, like the Richter scale.
No, it's tickling someone.
Oh, almost.
Yeah. I haven't even got the energy to read down the rest of this list now. You've zapped the energy from me. I've lost the will to live through just doing a simple little test for you.
You're asking me questions that I don't know the answers to.
Homework. Go watch the films. Read the books.
I ain't got time to do that.
Or borrow my list.
I haven't even watched all the films.
No way.
I haven't watched the sixth one.
That's disgraceful.
I've watched all of the others apart from the sixth one. All the way through.
Right. Well done.
Actually, no, I might have watched it all the way through. I just can't remember it. Wasn't that memorable?
Oh, you should do. You should remember it. Dear old.
No, I do enjoy those films. What happens though is I decide I'm going to watch them all, and start watching 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then kind of leave a gap because I've kind of lost interest a little bit, and then watch the last ones.
Right. Okay. Well, I bet everybody's enthralled with that.
Yeah. Sorry to ruin that.
All right. No. So, right. Have you got anything you're supposed to be doing then? Is there something along the
actually, what we may have discussed as a great way to really make a podcast great is for us to prepare our very own magic tricks to perform live on a podcast for everyone to hear.
Yeah. So are you going to go first? What have you got then?
So I've got a magical card trip. Yep, magical card trick. So, right in front of me for everyone to see, I've got a pack of cards. Now, legitimately, I do have a pack of cards in front of me. Can you confirm?
Yes.
Yes, that's through the camera there. Now, in these cards, different cards have got different numbers and letters on them and shapes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, I want you to I'm going to hold these in front of you. Pick a card.
That one.
All right, that one. Now, have a look at your card. Memorise it. Don't tell me, but you can tell the audience.
Okay.
You going to tell the audience?
It's a Jack of Diamonds.
Oh, I didn't hear that, so it's going to be fun. Now I'm going to shuffle the cards. Can you confirm I'm shuffling them?
I can see you shuffling them, yeah.
Yeah, and does it look like a normal deck of cards?
It looks like a flashy deck of cards.
I know.
Knows?
It's a black deck of cards.
It is a black deck of cards.
Which is cool. Anyway, so on the count to 10, I want you to close your eyes. 1, 2, 10. Okay, now I can see your eyes are closed, and I hope everyone in the audience has also got their eyes closed right now. Unless you are driving or walking, then please keep your eyes open. Okay, now I want you to picture that card that I definitely don't know what it is in your head. Are you picturing it?
I might have just dropped off then for a second.
All right.
Yeah, I'm picturing it.
What has the card got written on it?
What? Do you know?
Don't open your eyes.
Can't
Close your eyes
remember.
again. Close your eyes.
Oh, blimey. Short-term memory.
Now I want you to open your eyes.
Right, okay.
And you should notice that you are floating. Are you floating?
No. What are you talking about, floating? You've levitated me at the same time, yeah?
I've levitated you, yeah. Alright. Okay. And on 3, I'm going to show you your card. Is this your card, the Jack of Diamonds?
That is my card. How did you do that?
Oh, I know. It's amazing, isn't it? Voila. Thank you very much.
That is impressive, yeah. So for anybody listening, he just showed me the Jack of Diamonds.
I did shuffle the deck though, and I had to find it again.
Yeah, I gathered that. It took longer than you thought it was going to.
And your eyes were shut.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
And you levitated.
Yeah. Yeah, all right, good.
That
Very
was
good.
my show. Have you got anything?
Well, yeah, I thought I'd give escapology a go. I don't know.
Endoscopology, isn't it? Endoscopy, and what's it
No, I think
called?
that's something totally different. I don't think you want to see that.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. I think I'm probably going to have to take my headset off in order. Otherwise, you're going to get a lot of rustling and that on there, and I don't know how loud that'll be.
Well, I can't. I don't know whether this is coming through for your headset or your tablet, but go ahead, take your headset off. We'll see.
Right. I would like you to put on the background music because it's very important we build up the tension.
All
What I'm
right.
going to do, to just explain, I'm going to be tied in a sack with some elasticated grips around the outside, and I will manipulate my body in order to escape from that
All
while
right.
that bed of music's playing.
Ah, yeah. All right. I've just thought of a different act I should have done for my one. I should have done a hypnosis act, but carry on.
Right, okay.
So,
I'll talk you
hang
through
on.
it.
You're talking us through it, even though you've not got the headset on.
You might still be able to hear me.
All right. Okay. And are you gonna do it so I can see you on the camera?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So, for anyone watching, he's just turned the camera so I can see. He's now taken off the headset. He's now walked away. He's got a big Royal Mail sack that you can hear rustling, and he's put it over his head. I'm not sure he's gonna fit in the sack. Oh, and he's slightly off camera. This is amazing. Wow. I'm really struggling to see how he's going to wrap the ropes around him. Because he's got in the sack first, head first. I'm sure everyone watching, well, that's just me. I'm sure everyone listening is thrilled by this. Actually, I'm quite glad you don't have to watch this. I'm not really sure what's going on. I definitely think he could have left the headset on. Oh, there's his hand sticking out. And he's dropped the rope. He's dropped the rope. Oh, he's out. He's out of it. Wow, that was amazing. I was trying to describe it. I was trying to describe it the entire time, but
that sack stinks inside.
That was thrilling.
You went slightly off camera. Home from work.
You went slightly off camera, which made it hard.
Oh, did I? Sorry, it was most impressive.
Although I don't think it's going to really make much difference to the podcast.
No.
So.
No.
Yeah.
But there you go.
I don't think it would have made much difference you having the headset on or not either as well. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah,
great music as well.
Really, it was great music that I didn't listen to because it's being put in post, and with that as well. I find I watched you do it. You put the sack over your head.
Yeah.
It looked a bit tight.
Yeah.
You held the rope.
Yeah.
Waved it around a bit and then dropped the rope and then took the sack off again.
No, I didn't. I realised I should have tied myself up before I put the sack on my head.
Yeah.
Which has still been quite difficult. But then what I thought I'd do is bring the rope up in the sack, tie myself up in the sack, then untie myself in the sack and take the sack off. And you're right, that was a very snug sack.
It was a very snug
That would have
sack.
been difficult enough to get out of without the ropes.
Fair enough. Well, I don't know about you, but I think we should stop it for today.
I think we should have stopped it about 50 minutes ago.
This has got an interesting podcast, this one, but I have enjoyed it. So, just as usual, with this particular podcast, as I mentioned, this one was a suggestion. What I would say is do feel free to leave us suggestions as well. Have we had anything sent to us? Because we've got our email address, haven't we?
Oh yeah, I think we have. Yeah, we have. Let me look. I'm rustling again, I know, but It's the only way I can find these things, and let's just feel all the way through. Yeah. All right, okay. Well, we've got one here, and it's titled "Ode to Bigfoot." So that's obviously with reference to our Bigfoot episode.
Yeah.
Hi. After listening to your podcast discussing Bigfoot, if you are serious about having an encounter, then I suggest the following. Go to your local woods, wait until 1:30 in the morning, and then start chanting the following. I've come to the woods so I can meet the 9-foot beast with the oversized feet. I brought you a Kit Kat for you to taste. I promise not to cry, so don't punch me in the face. Repeat this until you are confronted by Bigfoot, or until it gets light, you get arrested. You're welcome, Harry Mary, Bob Me Moore. So it's,
Right.
it's worth a go, isn't it?
It is worth a go. I mean, yeah. I see no problems with that at all. And in fact, it'd be very helpful to hand him a Kit Kat, as we've learned that is a way to tame a Bigfoot and also not cry in front of it.
Yep, go down
Anything else?
Belfairs, then we'll go down Belfairs. We'll try it out down there.
Yeah, we might get some hairy blokes up here, but...
Oh, maybe not then. I've had another one. To father and son, you come to woods, I bite your face. Yours sincerely, Bigfoot. So,
Oh, right.
oh, there. So maybe
He's biting our face, not punching us in the face.
no, bite your face.
Oh, maybe it's
Got lovely
they've got it wrong.
handwriting.
Oh, that's nice. That's
Yeah.
nice.
That's nice. And yeah, I've got another one. Hi, friends. I have been left reeling after listening to your aliens episode. For the last 4 years, I have lost an hour once a year. I also hum in my sleep and have numerous scary cupboards. Please send the pattern for a protective hat as a matter of urgency before it's too late. And it's kind regards, it's Lee from Tintagel. So, Lee from Tintagel.
Tintagel?
Yeah,
What's that?
it's in Cornwall.
Oh, I've never heard of it.
Oh, God.
Fair enough.
Robbie Coltrane, Tintagel, don't know nothing, do you? You know nothing.
Jon Snow.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, we'll perhaps put a pattern for a foil hat on the Facebook page, and if anybody needs to make one, we'll go from there. Yeah.
Yeah, go from there. And as you mentioned, is that all we've got this week then, Dan?
That's the only ones I've seen this week. There may be more,
All right.
but
Fair enough, because they sound completely legitimate anyway. As you've mentioned already, we have got a Facebook page, we've got Twitter, we've got Instagram. Do follow us on there. You can also leave some suggestions like Sue has done this week. If you want to, you can just say it to us if you know us personally, or if you want to leave something on there. Alternatively, there is an email address. We haven't actually mentioned the email address in our podcast, although somehow we keep getting emails sent to it. I don't know how that happens, Dad. But that is fatherandsundays@outlook.com. So if anyone does fancy dropping an email on there or something like that, giving us suggestions what to talk about, then you are more than welcome to do so. As I've also mentioned before, we are on a number of different podcast platforms now. We are on Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn,
yeah.
Deezer,
lovely.
some more as well that I can't remember the name of. We are hoping to get onto a couple more podcast platforms soon. It isn't the simplest thing to do because sometimes it does cost a little bit of money as well, but we are working on things as well. And I do apologise for some of the audio issues we have had recently as well. Again, that is something we are planning to improve going forwards. But this has
Do you
been
mean I don't actually sound that nasally in real life?
Oh no, sorry. That is you do sound that nasally in real life.
Oh, I
Sorry.
do. So can I just apologise for? I'm surprised people that know me
Apologise.
haven't slapped me round the face because I've
Yeah.
got the most annoying voice ever.
It's alright, it doesn't beat my annoying voice. And then maybe at some point because we do this over a video call at the moment just because of audio things. Hopefully in the future that won't be so much of a problem anyway for us. But I don't know about you, Dad, but I've enjoyed this podcast. It has been an interesting one. It's not been quite as smooth as some others, but it's been interesting.
Yeah, there's been some bumps in the road, but we've navigated those, and we're at the end of it now, and I can go to bed.
Who doesn't love a good old speed bump and really going fast over it until you get some air? But again, thank you so much for listening this week again to our podcast. we hope after this one you will return next week, but we don't blame you if you don't.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, and
I don't even suppose they got to this bit. Yeah.
they probably haven't.
Bye bye for now.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.